111th edition of Third League Radio is live. We will talk John Cena, Chris Jericho, AEW, and more. Let's get to it.
I'm Paul Stanley of KISS. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night, no!
You're listening to your source for pro wrestling talk.
For those that are unaware, my name is Fuego del Sol.
Yeah, I actually used to wrestle for Ring of Honor before I signed with WWE.
You know, that name that you just named, I've never had a one-on-one match here in Impact Wrestling Games for Swan.
This is Third League.
World Women's Champion for NWA. I'm the first ever Mexican-born wrestler to hold this title.
This is the first time someone's introduced me as the Monster Hunter outside of a wrestling show.
His psychology was completely different, and it was more lucha style and Japanese style, so I got two completely different kinds of training.
This is Wrestling Radio.
All right, welcome in. Thank you for joining us here. I want to talk, first off, a little WWE stuff because, DDP, WWE Hall of Famer, just said, I will bet $100,000 on this Royal Rumble surprise of a finger quotes, former AEW star. And without even reading any further, I'm like, Jericho, we already know. We already know. Why are you even... Scroll down. Yep, Jericho. As soon as he said, TNA looks like the number 2 promotion, I was like, yeah, okay, we know where you're going. We know who bought you.
He's going through a little bit of the Cody syndrome where he can't take the criticism from fans, so...
Well, I mean, let's be honest. When AEW started, Jericho was not really popular with WWE fans. He noticed that, hey, all these other guys are getting popular among wrestling fans. Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. I think Jericho got the rub. He used their popularity to get the rub back on him. He used that to get money from Tony. And when he tried to play Tony for more money, Tony was like, no, dude, come to the negotiating table. Don't try to play games. Get money here, get money there. That's what they do. Tony just let him go. But this brings me to another topic. Because Chris Jericho is going to go to AEW, and he's going to have a wholly disappointing retirement tour. Just like next year, AJ Styles is going to have a wholly disappointing retirement tour. Just like this year, John Cena has had a wholly disappointing retirement tour. But let's get to that for a little bit. Aside from every bit of disappointment that the John Cena retirement tour has been, wow, the last match, Saturday night's main event. It's either going to be John Cena versus Gunther or John Cena versus Eli Drake or LA Knight.
Okay.
Yeah, LA Knight versus Gunther. And so, I'm like...
Well, it's going to be Gunther then.
Well, here's my question on that. Gunther, I mean, that is the... he did already retire Goldberg, He is poised to be WWE's next big guy. Yeah, give him the win over Cena, send Cena out that way. Or do you let LA Knight take the momentum and take the win over Cena in a shocking surprise? Or if LA Knight beats Gunther, does Cena get the win on his way out?
I don't think it makes any sense for LA Knight to win, and that'd be fantasy booking in my eyes, but... Realistically, WWE, for some reason, and I think John Cena does too, they love to have the big, like a big, like strong guy beat John Cena, like they did it with Brock Lesnar, and Gunther is that big, strong guy. He's young. Eli Drake is almost 50.
Yeah, but I think I agree with, I think this is the majority that I've seen on the internet. People can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but the majority opinion I've seen on the internet is, hey, if John Cena, if you want a retirement done right, you got to go to AEW for a couple of years. You got to pull a Sting, I mean, Sting's retirement is always going to be held as the GOAT retirement.
You really just got to do 1 year, but what company owns Peacemaker?
Yeah, HBO Max, DCU. I mean, that would be a perfect, after he's out of contract, everything like that, he can, I don't know if he can use John Cena.
What?
He signed over his name, right?
You're reading into 2012 news. They already did that thing where contracted talent can use their stuff afterwards.
Well, I mean, John Cena is his actual legal name, so yes. I don't know how they could prevent him from doing it, but he actually signed it over to them where they actually have the copyright over his legal name.
And they made that null and void. The wrestler gets the copyright when they leave. That was a whole big thing. They didn't make it retroactive, so Adam Copeland can't use Edge, but...
Yeah, I still see people saying Edge is going to show up in WWE, and I'm like, stop. He's under contract still. Just stop with the idiocy. But speaking of stopping with the idiocy, yeah, WWE, learn how to do a retirement for once. This is not just a new thing. Ever since I was a kid, they botched everyone. And they did it because, we look, okay, I get it. You want the company to look good. Sometimes in rare circumstances, in Sting's case, and even though I'm the guy, I'm going to tell you this right now before I say this. I'm the guy who stood in the line when John Cena first started rapping. He was at a house show signing autographs. I stood all the way in this long line up until the second, third person in there just so I could say, this isn't the Nacho line, and storm away in anger. I did that. And even I'm saying John Cena deserves a lot better than this.
I get it. Putting over Dominic Mysterio, I get it. But the whole tour has been terrible. They botched his championship run. They botched the heel run. Yeah, the heel run was horrible. And then you finally give him the Intercontinental title, something you think maybe can save it. And instead of, maybe you don't want him to do a Sting. You don't want him to retire with the title. I don't see a problem with that. You put the IC title up for a tournament. You have a great tournament, but they don't like wrestling. I get it. I don't know. I think you just botched the ending.
Third League Radio.
We're going to jump into AEW for Thanksgiving Dynamite. We had Dynamite on Thursday, Collision on Friday. Thanksgiving festivities. We are going to start with a Continental Classic match. It would kick off Dynamite, and this... I was going to say this is the most surprising match of the night, or of the Continental Classic so far, but we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. This did surprise me, though, because I didn't have Okada losing in the tournament. I did not have him losing in first match. He loses to fellow Don Callis family member, I should say, Kyle Fletcher. 16 minutes, 46 seconds.
I thought it was going to be a draw.
Yeah, well, I thought Okada was going to get the win. I did not have him losing in the league. I had him losing to Takeshita in the final. But check it out. The first three matches are Wrestling Observer rated 4-star matches in this show.
Okay.
The main event is 3.5 stars. Okay. So this is not a bad show all the way around. But yeah,
3.5 sounds kind of disappointing for a main event.
We'll move on from the first Continental Classic match to the Women's Tag Team Tournament semifinal match. Babes of Wrath, which I do not like most tag team names.
Can we skip?
Harley Cameron, Willow Nightingale. They would defeat Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart, Sky Blue. No, we've got to talk about it because they made the wrong call here. Sisters of Sin should have won this. Not only do they have the best tag team name in the women's division,
they're the most established.
Yeah, exactly. No. This is where I've got a gripe about naming.
They just won Blood and Guts, had a dominant performance. They're the most established team. Wrong call. They should be the first champions. Everyone is behind this team.
Yeah, no, I get that. I agree with you on that. But I want to talk about naming. What is Tony doing? He took Harley Cameron, who says, "Feel the wrath." Willow Nightingale, the babe of power. And he made them Babes of Wrath. He took Megan Bain, who the Megasis, right? Mm-hmm. He took The Problem, Marina Shafir, and guess what they're called?
Mega Problem.
Mega Problems. Timeless Love Bombs.
Wait,
what
no,
in the world?
I think he just got done rewatching the Mega Powers. He was like, what can I do that's kind of similar?
He's like, I'm going to take some part of this person, some part of this person, and we're going to make a name. No! Just make a name. Sisters of Sin works for those two characters, for Julia Hart, for Sky Blue, for the overall trio that they're with in Tekla. Everything works. This is just create a character on a video game. Mm-hmm. My goodness.
And the name... It doesn't even matter about the name. The name isn't why they should lose.
Yeah. The names... I was just griping about the names because I don't get what Tony's doing with that. And you know he's making those names. You know he's not letting them pick. But we'll move on now because I'm going to stop griping about that. Continental Classic, the Blue League. First match of the Blue League, Jon Moxley would defeat Mascara Dorada by referee's decision, 12 minutes, 55 seconds.
Nothing much to say on that one.
I don't know what they're doing on the story here, but like I said, I think it comes to a heading. Mox and Pac, Takeshita and Okada at the very end, but
Mascara Dorada's not getting a win in this tournament.
You know what? I did have him getting a win over Kevin Knight, but we'll talk about that here as we talk about this next match, because I didn't have Kevin Knight getting a win at all. I had him drawing. I had him getting a draw.
I didn't have him win. I had him draw Mike Bailey. I thought...
Yeah, no, in my pre-pick out, my bracket, whatever, Kevin Knight didn't get a win this entire tournament. And this surprised me.
If you told me last week Kevin Knight would get a win here, I would be like, I don't agree.
See, I don't...
But after watching the match...
Well, I don't like Darby Allin. I've said many times I'm not a fan of Darby Allin or Orange Cassidy, but in this situation, Darby Allin should have beat Kevin Knight. Orange Cassidy should have beat Kevin Knight. Like, Kevin Knight is not... Like, I mean, we had an argument last week, but you can see him getting to that level, but right now he does not beat that level.
Mike Bailey is like 10 times better than Kevin Knight, I'll tell you that. But this match did make me change my mind a little bit on Kevin Knight, because he did wrestle really well technically. Usually that's not really his forte.
Yeah.
He did a lot of his moves, but then he did something different. And this is how you do an upset, because he did something I hadn't seen before since Shane McMahon, RVD, and Sabu. I haven't seen it. That coast to coast, that looks so good. Online, people are saying it looks so good. WWE fans are like, oh my god, that was so good.
Oh, man. Hold on. We're going to step back here, because you just reminded me of something from Raw last night. I watched a clip of. You know the Young Bucks move that we always are like, oh, how do they do that? Where one guy's on the rope and he flips up into the other guy. Guess who stole it?
Axiom?
AJ Styles and his tag partner. I forget who is it. Oh my god, I can't even think of it now. But anyway, they do that, only it goes up into the Styles Clash. And I'm like, you copycatting motherfuckers. Like, you assholes. And then people on the comments are like, oh my god, that's so original. And I'm like, what? What? Somebody was like, we're the best really wrestle. And I'm like, you don't watch wrestling. You watch WWE. This is an argument I'm going to have with fans forever, because it's like 85% of the drivers on the road are bad. People agree on that, right? But almost everyone goes, not me. That's those fans. They think, yeah, everybody else sucks, but not me. They think they think they know what they're talking about.
No, they don't watch AEW, and no matter what, you can't tell them that the Young Bucks did it first. It's just, that's just what it is. It's not trying to be better. It's just they do not know, and they don't want to change.
Stupid. They're literally
they don't want to learn, and they don't know.
The Dunning-Kruger effect. You're too stupid to know you're stupid. I mean, to put it in simple terms. But let's finish up with Dynamite, as it is a Blue League match in the Continental Classic to close out the main event. Claudio Castagnoli would defeat Orange Cassidy in this one, 12 minutes, well, just shy of 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah, I thought they were going to give it to Orange Cassidy, and I was going to be upset. Claudio needs to go far in this tournament, because for too long, he has lost in singles matches. He has only won in Death Rider matches. And now that he's finally getting a singles push, it's great. CMLL World Champion. Give him the Continental title.
Yeah, do it. We'll move on to Collision, where we would kick off with another Continental Classic match. It would be a Gold League match. This was the only match that that is showing to be rated by Wrestling Observer Network, and is rated 4.25 stars. Pac would defeat Mike Bailey by referee decision, 15 minutes, 16 seconds.
I mean, it was the right call, like Pac beating Mike Bailey.
Yeah. I think
Mike Bailey did great. Pac looked great. I mean, I don't see a problem.
With Pac being, and I hate to say this about Mike Bailey, because like I said, I don't see him at a certain level yet. I see him there in a bit.
You need to watch more matches.
But I think with the way Pac is looking since he's coming back, with the attitude he has, what I think they're doing, what people have said they're doing, is making Pac the leader of Death Riders. If that's happening, if that's what's going on, I think Bailey got in too much offense in this one. I mean, you don't need a squash, but Pac should have been in control the entire time without any question. You know, I shouldn't have ever thought, hey, maybe Bayley's getting the win in this one.
I think that's a little far.
But now we'll move on to a grudge match, if you want to call it that. Daniel Garcia taking on Matt Menard. Garcia would get the win in this one by referee decision, a little over 10 minutes, ending a story with. I thought this was the wrong story in the beginning. I always said that Yuta and Garcia should have been paired with Blackpool. They should have never been split up. I think Garcia got put with the wrong people, and that kind of stunted his growth for a while. But I'm liking the new Garcia that I'm seeing here in Death Riders. I think he fits perfectly. So I think this was a kind of that ending of that.
But he had a match with Matt Menard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually a great match. I mean, it wasn't too long. They didn't do a lot, but the visual of Garcia bloodying Matt Menard was the point of the match, and it's what they did, and they didn't take too long to do it, so.
Well, it was the MXM TV casting call, if you want to say that.
Yeah, I love this group, and it needs to be more, because...
Well, they're getting beat all the time in the casting calls.
6 months ago, before they put Taya Valkyrie in, and it was just Eminem, Johnny TV. I was like, they were MXM collection. I was like, dude, call them Eminem TV, Johnny TV, Taya Valkyrie, put them all together. Oh. Thank God. They need more.
But they would lose, though. Dalton Castle and the Outrunners would get the win in this one.
They always lose.
232.
That's the point. They lose, but they don't care.
Well, this is something I get, but I don't get. Eddie Kingston defeated Katsuyori Shibata. You needed Kingston to come out and get a win over a member of the Ops, but because of Hook's betrayal, remember Hook teamed with Kingston, then turned on everybody and showed up at the end.
So Eddie Kingston wants to fight Samoa Joe, but he can't get a shot at the title unless he beats someone.
But I don't see why you have him beating a legend like Shibata. Granted, Eddie Kingston is a legend in his own right. But, I mean, Hobbs can take the fall in this one. Sure, I don't care. I mean, get Hook out there again. Let him take the fall. I don't know. I just don't like
Hook
the...
can't take the fall. That wouldn't make any sense.
Well, I just don't like the Kingston beating Shibata. It doesn't sit right with me. We'll move on to a singles match in the women's division. Tekla and Ty Mello. Tekla gets the win. 7 minutes, 42 seconds.
Yeah, this wasn't as good as I thought it would be, but Ty Mello actually does impress me each time she wrestles, because the ring rust seemed to not be there much at all for her.
Yeah, no, it definitely did not appear that way. But now the main event of Collision, a Blue League match in the Continental Classic. Konosuke Takeshita, Roderick Strong. I always thought Takeshita was getting a win in this one, but Roderick Strong, there were times he looked like the Roderick Strong of old. There were backbreakers coming from everywhere. I heard Messiah of the Backbreaker for the first time in a long time during a Roderick Strong match.
A lot of them were stiff, too.
Oh, yeah. So hopefully Roderick Strong's going to have one of those great tournaments like Roosh. Or not Roosh. Oh, my goodness. Why did I say Roosh? Andrade when he was going out. Yeah. Maybe because Roosh got hurt and they had to put the titles up for Final Battle, which we'll talk about that coming up here in just a little bit. But that is a look at the AEW this week.
Goddesses of Stardom. Tag League 24.
Now, let's take a step across water to Japan, where Stardom just ended their Goddesses of Stardom Tag League. I believe winners get a shot at the tag titles. Cosmic Angels, Aya Sakura and Sayaka Karara defeat Hate, Natsuko and Ruaka. So the faces get the win this time, and God, that it's basically just this never-ending rivalry between the two groups. Yeah. So
that's pretty much what it's been in Stardom from what I haven't kept up with it, but from what I've seen, that's pretty much what it's been, those two groups, for a couple of years.
This week in history.
Let's move on to this week in history. The week we're looking at is November 24th through November 30th, and we'll start 1999, November 29th, 1999. Episode of Monday Night Raw. The wedding between Stephanie McMahon and Test. was interrupted by Triple H. Played a video revealed they're already secretly married. They were at the Las Vegas drive-thru. The whole thing was later revealed to be a plot between the new Mr. and Mrs. Helmsley, the Helmsley-McMahon era, McMahon-Helmsley, if you remember that. Then we'll jump to 1991, or jump back to 1991, I should say. November 27th, 1991. It was Survivor Series, took place at Joe Louis Arena. It saw the first ever non-elimination match in Survivor Series history, with Hulk Hogan losing his title to The Undertaker after interference from Ric Flair made Taker the youngest WWE champion in history up to that point.
Sorry, I was looking at this. What?
We're doing This Week in History?
Yeah.
Survivor Series 91, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker. Undertaker wins. It's the first non-elimination match in Survivor Series history. Undertaker becomes the youngest champion.
I did not watch that one.
Up to that point. I used to love the elimination style Survivor Series matches. 1998, November 30th, 1998, the Big Boss Man would defeat Mankind to win the Hardcore Championship in a ladder match.
Really?
Yeah, this is significant because it is the first time that the title would change hands. Mr. McMahon gave the title to Mankind, and Mankind won it every match. It's the first time the title actually changed hands and became an actual title.
Wow.
November 30th, 1998.
Big Boss Man, too. That's crazy.
And then we're going all the way back to 1983 for this week's main event, I guess, of This Week in History. November 24th, 1983, the first ever Starrcade was promoted by NWA in Greensboro, North Carolina. The main event was Ric Flair taking on Harley Race. Ric Flair would regain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in a steel cage match. In the lead-up to the title match, Flair offered a bounty to put Race out of professional wrestling. And 20 years later, who copied it? Triple H and Goldberg. Oh, WWE copying all kinds of stuff. But that is This Week in History.
Match of the Week.
Well, all right, it is Match of the Week time. And for me, I think both of my matches, Honorable Mention and Match of the Week outright, are going to come from the Continental Classic.
I got to give a comedy Honorable Mention. Jushin Thunder Liger defeats Joey Janela at WrestleCade.
Yeah. Jushin Liger making his return after 5 years. He hadn't wrestled in 5 years after
Joey
his retirement.
Janela. Squashing Janela. That's great.
Oh, if I'm Janela, I would take that squash any day. You just give me the paycheck, and I would love to be in there.
Honorable mention, got to be Okada Fletcher.
Yeah, see, I'm not going to go with honorable mention on that one. For me, I'm going to pick Roderick Strong and Konosuke Takeshita as my honorable mention, simply for, I mean, I got to see, I don't know how long I'm going to get to see shades of Roderick Strong that I grew up with, the guy who opened the first episode of TNA Impact on Spike TV, October 2005. Yes, I watched there. I watched it. But for what it was, I got to see shades of that guy. So that is my honorable mention. For Match of the Week, though, man, this was tough. This was a really tough one for me because over on Dynamite, any of those four matches from the Continental Classic could have been Match of the Week. I mean, Kevin Knight defeating Darby Allin just for the shock factor.
That's mine.
Okay, see, there you go. But mine is going to be what you said earlier for your honorable mention. Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada. Well, I think that's my Match of the Week.
I think that was the wrong call, so I'm not going to pick that one for Match of the Week.
But yeah, that is, well, we'll see what happens with that as we are looking at Continental Classic in Match of the Week.
And after it's all over, you say, "Oh, what a lovely tea party."
Third League. Wrestling Radio.
On upcoming shows, we are talking about Final Battle. That's actually coming up December 5th. So depending on what day you're listening on the radio, this might have already happened. So we're going to get predictions in now if we have predictions to make, because some of the matches don't have actual participants yet. We'll figure that out. But we do know that the World Tag Team title is on the line because Rush is injuring. La Facción Ingobernables, Sammy Guevara and Beast Mortos, they are, well, the titles have been vacated, but since LFI were the champion, those two are getting a chance to regain their titles, and they are taking on Adam Priest and Tommy Billington.
I think
the new Dynamite Kid.
I think the Dynamite Kid and Priest, I mean, I want them to win, but I know they're probably not going to, but I'm going to pick them just because I want them to.
Yeah, I want LFI here because you've got to do something with LFI. They keep getting pushed to the back burner, and everybody in that team is so good. I know Roosh is injured, but everybody in that team deserves to be up.
It's so hard to get into watching ROH.
And this
they gotta
one,
fix that.
This is an intriguing match to me. I want to see Nigel McGuinness back so badly. I want to see him hold the Pure Championship, and he's been teasing that with Lee Moriarty recently. And we're going to see a non-title 30-minute Iron Man match between Nigel McGuinness and Lee Moriarty.
That sounds fun. I'm thinking they're going to do a story on the pay-per-view where Lee Moriarty puts the title up and McGuinness takes it.
Yeah. Now, the AEW national title will be on the line. That was said when the national title match was founded.
Ricochet.
But we don't know who Ricochet is going to defend against. So we'll have to find that. We can't make a prediction on that one,
Styles?
although I think Ricochet is still going to retain.
No, I think it's AJ Styles, because WWE fans can think Jon Moxley's going to show up.
They can think Adam Copeland's going. Say, hey, why not? Hey, it's AJ. Another one we don't know people in is the Women's Pure Tournament. They will be a final match at Final Battle, but we don't know who the two competitors are going to be yet. We'll see how that tournament plays out. But the Women's Pure title, that was a perfect for Layla Hirsch, and she's gone. This is perfect for her. You know what I mean?
It was a few years too late because that, what feud was that street fight that Layla Hirsch did? Was it against Diamante?
I don't know, but yeah, that was good, right?
That would have been a great feud to do a Pure title with.
But the 6-man titles are on the line as Shane Taylor Promotions, Carly Bravo, Shane Taylor, Sean Dean are defending against Skyflight. Now, that's Dante Darius Martin and Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, well, Christopher Daniels doesn't wrestle anymore. He's the manager.
Well, yeah, but this is another...
it should be SCU
This is another
still.
thing of
it
Tony
should be
putting...
SCU.
This is another thing of Tony putting team names together. Top Flight, Scorpio Sky, now it's Skyflight. Come on,
It should
dude.
be Christopher Daniels and Scorpio Sky training a new SCU, and then when they fully retire and leave the business, you still have SCU.
But in this one, I would want Skyflight to get the title, but I think Shane Taylor Promotions needs to keep the title for a while and be the baddies of Ring of Honor for a bit, be the big heels over there.
I think you should make the Workhorsemen your tag team champions.
Well, moving on to the World Television title match, Mercedes Moné putting that on the line. See, they've already had this match recently, as they had to have Red Velvet, Mercedes Moné. Red was the TV champion, Mercedes interim, so Mercedes full champion now. I guess Red Velvet's getting a rematch here, which, I like Red Velvet, simply because...
well,
go ahead.
Wouldn't this be No, it'd be the second match between them, right?
Yeah.
So they're probably going for maybe a little trilogy here. I mean, Mercedes is in 4 different feuds, so I don't know. I didn't like their first match that well, so I think this one will be better.
Now, this one kind of scares me. I think Athena should be forever champion until she retires. I think forever champion is not just a gimmick. I think that should be her. But it scares me because I think she could lose it here. She is defending the women's world title against Persephone, and the talk Persephone's had from a lot of people recently. It makes me think that there's a chance Tony could say, okay, go ahead. Let's see what you got.
I mean, Tony needs to give a title away, but I don't think it's that one. I think no matter... I think there will never be a women's world champion after Athena. They're going to do a women's national or continental champion or something, they'll call it the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, but there will never be a world champion. Athena's the last one.
Well, the main event is a survival of the fittest match for the Ring of Honor world title. Now, this could see something very crazy
that's
because
crazy. I haven't. Usually they don't do that. Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why this could be very crazy. We're gonna say Bandito's the champion, and he's defending.
I want Bandito to lose it.
Well, he's defending against Hechicero, Commander, Blake Christian, and 2 more people: the Beast Mortos and Sammy Guevara. If you remember, the Beast Mortos and Sammy Guevara start off the show for the World Tag Team title.
So you think LFI take over?
Why not? LFI takeover, so when Roosh comes back, Sammy Guevara and Roosh have a... you get a new member of LFI, and then Roosh comes back. It's a ready-made feud, Sammy Guevara and Roosh, for leadership of LFI.
But then you break up LFI that quick.
No, you just kick one member out.
It's probably going to be that, but just because I like Blake Christian, I got to go him. Give him the world title. Let's run Vanilla Baby.
Vanilla Bean with the championship. Hey, Krez, your things have happened. Dalton Castle's been champion.
Yeah, that was stupid. That's probably part of why Tony had to buy him, was that.
Oh, but that is a look at Ring of Honor Final Battle. That is Third League for this week. We will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to this edition of Third League Radio. Download the latest episodes at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Catch the live radio show every weekend starting at 10 p.m. You can listen live every Friday night at mix961.net. This has been Third League Radio.